Hello, everybody hear me? Am I coming in? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Thanks, everybody from the DAO to attend today's DAO Hall for another edition of Proof of Good DAO Hall. We can get right into it today. We've got Chris Pariso in the hot slot for introduction. Chris Pariso needs no introduction if you're already familiar with the team. Thanks for everybody in the audience. We're already seeing a lot of people showing up here. Paco, Leia, Rar, Jamie, boom. And I'll kick it over to you, Chris. A little intro about you, some background, why you got involved with Proof of Good, maybe a little state of the union, so to speak, with Proof of Good and the market as it stands today.
Sure thing. So, as was said, my name's Chris. I'm also known as Know Your Crook on all the socials and on the Proof of Good Discord. Um, so my background, I'm basically a data nerd that got into criminal justice. It's the easiest way to say it. I'm currently the lead analyst and project manager for a large global security team. Have a background in white collar crime investigation, anti-money laundering, counter-terror financing type stuff, and a whole lot of open source research, usually for state or local or federal law enforcement. I've started applying that to crypto a few years ago and really started getting interested into the financial crime, the fraud aspect of it, since crypto is just absolutely rife with fraud and scams and other sorts of financial crimes outside of just the shady dealings that we've been seeing lately with the larger exchanges like Celsius and hedge funds and things like that. So a lot of that experience I bring to Proof of Good. I try to do a lot of analytics, some process automation, and a lot of security related things. So on Discord, if you've seen the security tips channel, trying to share different scams that I come across, different, just different ways that people can lose their money. Um, and what was it? State of the Union. So, again, my focus is on fraud, financial crime, things like that. And the way the market shifts usually determines the kind of fraud that you see most often. So during a bull market, when everything is green and you have like 50x or 100x coins popping off all over the place, you see a lot of scams that start off with the scammer wanting you to invest money in them. So either they have this hot new token that's going to be the next SHIB or Doge, or they have this brand new exchange that they want you to sign up and it's guaranteed returns, or whatever the case may be. They want you to invest money with them, and of course it's stolen. With a bear market, with everything down, with most people's portfolios in the red, the hooks that the scammers are using has shifted. And we see a lot more things now that start off with you have won money, or you can get a sign up bonus if you come to our exchange, or we have a free NFT mint. It's a lot of things that don't involve the target putting out any money initially. It's you can get something for free, or you've already won money, and that's how they're pulling you in. And that these are just linking to like wallet drainers, or actually there was one this morning that was really interesting. um, I had somebody DM me with the seed phrase to a wallet, and they said, "Hi, I followed you, or I think we're interested in the same things. I have almost $1,000 in my wallet, but I'm having trouble withdrawing it. Could you please help me?" So I imported the wallet. It was on the Tron network, and it did indeed have like 984 USDT in there. Like, didn't make any sense. I start looking at the transaction history, and for over a month now, anytime TRX is sent into the wallet, within 30 or 40 seconds, it's bounced right back out to another account. And only one TRX is left in there, which is not enough to pay the gas fees to transfer out the USDT. So, from the scammer's point of view, they send this out to thousands of people. The greedy ones try to withdraw the USDT and drain the wallet, but there's not enough gas to do it. So they send TRX into the wallet so they have enough gas to transfer it. That TRX is immediately siphoned out. So it's playing on people's greed to try to drain the wallet. Looking at the history, I think it was around 600 or 700 different accounts had transferred TRX into this wallet, and it totaled almost 15,000. So 15,000 TRX, I think, is around $1,000, $1,100, something like that.
Pretty brilliant
Um,
scheme.
it's a honeypot for people being greedy. And I think that's a unique characteristic of kind of fraud in a bear market is people are greedy. People are desperate to try to make back some of their losses. And suddenly they see this opportunity of just like, oh, some poor rube gave me his seed phrase and he's got $1,000 in USDT sitting in here. Okay, maybe I'll take it. So that, from my perspective, is kind of the current state of things. Keep those too good to be true alarms up and running.
I love it. I love it. And well, I mean, I hate it, but I love your insight into it. I can't count how many of these report Discord users I get each day, how many different times I have to hit the report or block spam button on Discord. Even from known companies or previous employers that I've worked with people imitating, you've won an airdrop for X company, and it's like, I worked for X company. They don't do airdrops. Like it's.
Well, for the four of us here, have any of us ever had an unsolicited contest that has been legit? I haven't.
You will not win a contest that you did not enter, ever. If you ever are DM'd saying you won a contest from some new exchange, something like that, you've never been on the exchange, you never entered a contest, it's a scam.
Yeah. So if anybody watching takes anything from this, it should be that. If it's unsolicited, even if it is solicited, you're maybe in hot water. But if it's unsolicited, you never click it. Just
I don't think I've ever seen anything good come from an unsolicited cold DM. Someone DMing you about a new project, a new NFT project, a new coin launching, an IDO coming up, somebody saying that they have some great exchange that they use, like anything at all that comes from an unsolicited DM, probably a scam.
Well, Jeff, you're a marketing guru. Would any legitimate company reach out as part of their community building efforts and look similar to that, or will they have a completely different approach?
It depends on the company, but almost exclusively no. I mean, it's best practice. We will never DM you first is best practice in the industry, which is basically to thwart these types of initiatives or these type of efforts. But I've seen it go as far as, people mimicking or copying my corporate bio or my NFT icon, and almost copying my Discord name, changing one character of that name, changing a 0 for an O or a 1 for an L or something along those lines, and reaching out to people and then having people reach back out to me. I was told I was on your whitelist. I clicked these links. Now my money is gone. What did you do to me? And it's like, can you send us the screen caps of that conversation? But this wasn't me. So I mean, it's pretty rampant. I've been part of token launches as well that they've taken out Google search engine marketing ads to be the first sponsored ad page above the actual search engine result. And it's a mimic page with the exact same build, with the exception of send your money to this wallet, as opposed to, enter and claim your, etc., or mint your, etc., or participate in this token generation event, those types of events. And
is Google interested in combating that, or is it just money for them?
Google, if you report them, or if enough people report a malicious ad like that, they will take it down. I don't know if they take any action beyond that, but that it's a very good point that Jeff made. Anytime you Google something, the first few results on there will most likely be an ad, and it'll say ad at the end of it. Never click on those. Those are not necessarily from the actual company. And especially if you're doing something like a mint or if you're looking up some popular project, like if you're looking up Bazookies or Bored Ape Yacht Club, something like that, you're probably going to see a couple of ads on there for some kind of mint or another that's fake.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I've definitely had a few close calls where not necessarily strictly within crypto, but also just surfing around the web in general, which are, you know, phishing scams, and you end up clicking on a link that you fat thumbed a link across your browser, and you end up on a site that you don't want, and it's like, okay, step away. Where is the X out button? Before, you know, because it's
Yep.
pretty wild west out there, right? So like, I mean, all it really takes is 2 or 3 button clicks before you could lose whatever's in your hot wallet.
Yeah. And a lot of times, people will do what's called domain squatting, where they'll register domains that are very similar in name to popular ones. So Pancake Swap, it might be Pancakes Swap, something like that, in hopes that, I mean, one, they can send the link out and it looks like it's a legitimate one to trick people into going to the site, but also for people that, you know, the few psychopaths out there that actually type in a web address into the URL or like into your address bar, if you misremember the name, you type it wrong, you make a typo, most of those typos will end up going to some other phishing site if the legitimate company didn't buy up all those domains themselves.
And Jeff, didn't we learn something interesting this week? I think it was you on the call with me about password managers.
I was not on that call.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh.
Sorry. Using a password manager will help keep you from clicking on the wrong site if you've been there before, because it won't let you automatically go through. So it's just kind of like an extra fail-safe.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't on that call, but yes, that's absolutely right, because the passwords are tied to a very specific URL. So if you're at some kind of imposter site, it won't go through. Same thing with bookmarking common sites. So sites that you go to all the time, bookmark them. And if you go to that site, you know, you click the link or what have you, and it's not bookmarked, you're at the wrong site.
Hans called it right in step with you. That easy way. Bookmark your sites, people.
Yes.
What else we got? Oh, fat thumbs are the words for landing in hot. Okay, well, 2 of these. Thumbs up for that answer. Love it. Let's see. Anything else before we move on, Chris, or any other questions for Chris from the audience today at the DAO, from the DAO? Brilliant. Okay. I think, well, thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah.
I get to hear a lot of this inside baseball stuff on our happy hours on Friday. And I know that there's so much work that's going on behind the scenes with our team, with Pineapple and a number of others, while we continue to, you know, weed out those bad actors that, you know, we're not above or exclusive outside the bad actors ourselves as a project. And just the continuing work and dedication to the project is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so glad that you took the time to speak with us today and introduce yourself and dox yourself to the DAO.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And if anyone ever has questions, my DMs are always open on every platform. I'll probably think you're a scammer at first and might mess with you, but eventually I will answer your question.
Well, that, and you do have a security section in our Discord. So
yes, there's also the security section in Discord. Any interesting scams I come across, any good safety tips, anything like that, I try to share in there as quickly as possible. So, you know, take a look at that too.
Yeah, 100%. And just to add on to that, I believe that you have the appropriate rights to be able to post those security announcements on our Discord with the @here or @all tag to alert everybody of those kind of new and urgent threats. If not, let's get you in touch with Elijah because that came up.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, I've got it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just for the community, we're trying to use that notification method sparingly, but Chris is kind of mission critical for all of us. So don't let it go to your head.
No, I mean, I think I've used it once. If it's something that it's an ongoing scam, like there's a hot link that's being shared all over Twitter and people are getting their wallets drained, I'll use at everyone or at here. If it's just like this morning, that interesting DM that I got with the seed phrase, I'll put it up there. People can peruse it there at their leisure.
Well, even more importantly, if you ever discover one that's linked to our Discords or our organizations, I mean, we've had problems with people trying to dupe our NFTs. So there'll be more.
As recently as this week. Yep. And you've got some fans in the audience. I always retweet and liked your tweets, man. So helpful. That one comes from Takemi Hans. Hey, Hans.
Appreciate it, Hans.
Artist of our mascot. Question coming in from Mr. Bolaños. What happened finally to the guy who said he would be releasing sensitive information from Telegram conversations? From Telegram.
That kind of fizzled and burned out. Another message was basically put out saying like, hey, made it all up. Nothing's happening. Made it all up. If you see any future messages from me, they're fake. So it just kind of ended with a little whimper, and that was it.
Well, again, thank you so much for all that you're contributing to the project. The security issue is something that's a constant battle within Web3, unfortunately, and something that Paco's upset that it fizzled out. I think he wanted Scorch.
He wanted to hear some dirt on influencers.
But that's something that hopefully Web3 kind of solves over time, and I think that it's a particularly interesting industry that we're in, working for social good. You got to be a real piece of human to be a bad actor. Yes, I chose those words carefully. To be bad acting on those that are trying to do good. So.
Dude, do you remember after 9/11, like countries coming together, and there was a slew of scams, just for donations, for relief. I mean,
it's all money, and they don't care where it comes from. It's all money, and they don't care where it comes from.
I think it's an interesting point also, which is also a potential revenue stream for us. Is the look at the misuse of funds after what happened in Haiti some years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And the mismanagement of donated funds and how much money in versus how much money on the ground with real world impact, which is proving to be maybe one of the through streams and revenue streams for an enterprise level solution for proof of good, to provide that on the ground attestation for actual work being done. We have the resources to be able to provide that. And I think that we'll get into that over time, probably a little more in detail over the coming weeks with some of our future DAO halls, with a focus on the beach plan that Stephen Morrison is planning as well. The beach clean that Stephen Morrison is planning as well. So, stay tuned for that. Anyways, okay. All right. Hi. Like fire, but I'm not malicious. Okay.
I believe one of those.
Thanks so much, Parizo. Thanks so much, Chris. And with that, I think unless there's anything else, parting words, Parizo, then we'll turn it over to Al.
No, take it away, Al.
Great, thanks. And Chris, a lot of what you brought up raised my awareness to as I've mentioned before, we're working on a crowdfunding campaign for the sale of our tokens. And while I've been doing a lot of work in the background trying to get our organizational materials, our financials, our operating agreements and things like that in order, there is an element of, what's our risk, or what's the risk to the project, or what's our risk to scams if we are doing a sort of marketing campaign along with a fundraising campaign, we should probably do a risk assessment of our public-facing materials to make sure that we are, not leading people to, wrong paths if they're searching for us and landing somewhere else and mistakenly investing in something that's not what we're putting out.
Absolutely should.
So I'll follow up with you on that. But basically, that's kind of my update in a nutshell. There are a number of aspects that I am working through, from setting up the U.S. legal entity to going through our due diligence checklist for completing the fundraise, which again we're hoping to launch on this crowdfunding platform in July. We are actively sort of just working through all of the components of the offering, the business organization elements, again, financials. A lot of it has to do with finally completing the separation of Leyline and Proof of Good, which is something that we've needed to do for some time, but now time is really of the essence as we try to launch this initiative, because we really need to be buttoned up as we come to market with an offering for tokens. So that work is ongoing. And again, July is our expected time frame. And Chris, we should do a risk assessment of our public-facing materials in parallel with that.
Chris could also probably help with the private stuff, archival stuff that you were bringing up in Slack. So hit him up for that too.
Great.
And have we decided on let's say, a sister organization that is going to help with the Reg CF offering for July?
We have been speaking with and looking to engage a company called Chainraise. They are a platform that specifically conducts Reg CF offerings for blockchain-related projects. And they have been very helpful and engaged with us throughout this onboarding process and providing us with the resources to make sure that we're checking off all the boxes for that we need to in order to comply, and providing resources around third-party accounting and legal to help with making sure we're doing this in the proper fashion. So they will be our partners for this offering, and just plugging away.
That's very exciting. And Reg CF, I believe, is only approved from the SEC, FINRA, CFTC, maybe as recently as 2019, I think. And is this on the, Regulation Crowdfund is a $5 million capital raise at the retail level, or is that strictly for accredited investors?
So we are looking to raise under, you're calling out my recollection of the precise nature of the law. I believe we can raise from accredited and non-accredited investors. I will have to double check whether there are income tests associated with that limit the level of investment from non-accredited investors. But I can follow up with the precise nature of who's involved. But generally, accredited investors will be allowed. The question will then be: are non-accredited investors able to participate, and if so, to what extent? I just don't have that information off the top of my head, but
sure.
Can get that for you.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It's fine. These are all questions that we'll need to be aware of and have a plan for. And when non-accredited investors are participating in an offering, the onus is really on the company to make sure that we are making full disclosures and not creating risks for them to be investing in scams. So it just heightens the work that we have to do, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because we want to be professional, buttoned up, seen as even though we're a crypto project, we want to be viewed as a proper organization that can be relied upon to be stewards of people's funds and our mission to validate good deeds and and all the things that we aspire towards. So yeah, it's just a question of whether there's a limit to the level of participation, which again I can find out for us.
Brilliant. Love it. Thank you for the update. As always, your diligence, professionalism, and the way that you're helping us cross the finish line out is of paramount import to where we stand right now. So just thank you from the entire DAO. It's amazing the work that's been done since your onboarding, and
I would throw in the word tenaciousness.
Yes, right.
Definitely a football.
I appreciate all that, and I'm really excited about the potential for this project and what we can do once funded and have sort of all these growing pains that you find in any sort of startup environment ironed out, and we can get people fully onboarded and fully engaged. There is a lot that we can do with what we're building here. And just to respond to Rara, it's a combination of both. They're trying to break out of the living room and into the kitchen where I'm trying to have this this call.
It sounded like they were going ham with a staple gun.
No, that's the baby gate that they are. One of them is trying to break down.
I clocked the staple gun also, Pariso. All right. Great. Chris, do you have updates from your desk today, or just stuff in the works and moral support on the call?
I'm just here to babysit the introverts. I like how Pariso keeps on leaving like Nosferatu, just sliding off the screen. But no, I will say that we are re-engaging one of our advisors and biggest supporters tonight. Tonight, maybe 2 more hours, hoping to get some final feedback on the tokenomics plan and maybe reintroduction to some investors that this crypto winter is kind of slowed everything down. So we're going to be re-engaging tonight, and we've been looking forward to this for a long time. We've been prepping for it for a long time, and the particular advisor runs a very large company and has been out of country. So tonight we get an hour of his time, and it's going to be very productive.
That's very exciting. And we've been speaking. I know you and I and others on this call have been speaking with a number of outside economists, outside agencies that are on board with Proof of Goods mission, and been told to lean in, right? Don't be scared of the bear market. And the nature of our business is such that we will be here despite the nature of the bear market in one fashion or another, insofar as we are a sustainable organization and we are working towards social impact, and that will never go away and is semi-resistant to the bear market as well.
The need is greater in a bear market, right? Because less people are giving to charity. So we've never been more needed.
It'll be interesting to see how fruitful that call is and what feedback we get from those partners, advisors on that call. So keep us updated. Fingers crossed.
One thing I can say is it's going to be unexpected. It always is, which is the best kind of feedback. So.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you for the update. I'm going to take over and hop right into some marketing updates. Okay. The biggest over here on marketing, and I'm going to add stream is, and I know Pineapple is going to be excited for this. We got the mascot naming contest, which was launched just 22 minutes ago while everybody was on this call. So we are calling for a name similar to how we had named our community the Altroversers, right? Every community needs a fam name, and we decided on the Altroversers. This contest is going to work the exact same way, with the exception that this is for the mascot that Hans and I believe his brother came up with and was voted in by the DAO. We need a name for the POG mascot. The way that this is going to work is we are only accepting submissions that are on Twitter. So go here, add your comments, and we'll keep this open for 3 days to submit your entry over here. So go to the Proof of Good Twitter. You'll see it. We'll just pin that to the top real quick. You'll see it at the top of our Twitter profile. And the winner of this is going to be receiving $50 in $50 USD equivalent in Matic that we'll send to your Matic wallet. And your Matic wallet, if you are an owner of a Genesis pack, you already have a Matic wallet. So you'll have 3 days to submit your entry. After the 3 days, this will go over to a Google form, similar to how we did the community naming contest. And we will take the top 10 responses based off that vote and put it into Snapshot. After it goes into Snapshot, Snapshot being our DAO governance voting mechanism, it will be open on 5 days for vote over on Snapshot as well. And then we will have a name. My suggestion was Alti, so vote for Alti. Never mind. Don't have to do that. You don't get any bonus for voting for mine. Anyways, so please participate. You can submit more than once. It's all going to be included. It's all going to be voted upon. And the winner, again, will receive $50 USD equivalent in Matic after the completion of the Snapshot proposal. Very exciting. Big shout out to Rarar, who's taken a big step in with our social media and who got this posted in the middle of this call while on the call. Sorry, it sounded like a dinosaur in the background. And commenting on YouTube during the process. The other marketing update that I wanted to announce today, which won't launch until tomorrow, is we're going to be revisiting and relaunching the referral contest. Nobody needs to see the recursive screen. I think we should call it Pineapple. Thank you for the comments, computer tutorials. Okay. Okay. Alice stepped away just for a moment. The other contest, which will be launching tomorrow, is a revisit of the referral contest. So if you participated in the last one, you know how this works. It will be a Gleam campaign. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Discord, and invite 10 friends successfully to our Discord channel. That allows you to be eligible. The prize for this will be $100 paid in Matic to you. It will also be $100 paid to the women's rights or LGBTQIA+ rights advocacy group of your choice. That is a confirmed organization. So we're doing matching 100 to you as a participant and winner, and 100 to the charity or rights group of your choice. And so really kind of looking forward to that. Obviously, there's been some things that have been happening recently, and this is our way until the good points get restored to be able to pay out directly, of being able to make a small contribution in the rights of women worldwide. It doesn't have to be a U.S. organization. Most of our winners typically come from the Philippines. We are all about that. So please participate in that. Again, that's going to be a referral contest that, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Discord, invite 10 friends to Discord, and it will be run through Gleam. So please pay attention to that. That will launch at 10 a.m. EST tomorrow morning. And you can find the details for that on the Discord announcements channel, as well as on our Twitter, which will have the link for the Gleam campaign that you can take those necessary steps.
So tongue or not, even though it's not part of the contest, please also follow us on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Follow us on LinkedIn. Also, if you're on the call or you work for the organization, go ahead and sign up. Or express on LinkedIn that you are a co-owner or employee of the DAO in some capacity. Well, you may not need to have 10 friends on Discord. You just need to have 10 successful invites to the channel. Although the contest isn't launching until tomorrow, so you've got 24 hours to start, Hans. Also, Hans, if you win the naming contest for the mascot, I'm just going to start. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but everybody loves the mascot. I think Alti is the winning name, but hey, we'll see. Some other updates here. Paco isn't able to join us today. He's been rage facing with some excellent concerts out in France, and he has some updates on the membership packs. Those will come in 2 weeks' time, and I'll leave it right there. As Al already alluded to earlier, kind of the main focus right now, we have some outside help on the pitch deck, just fine-tuning the deck as is appropriate with kind of our new positioning. Phaedra from LRT, which is Let's Rethink This, our outside marketing and PR agency, is working to make that tip-top shape to be able to approach the investors that we have in our wheelhouse, in our back pocket. A lot of those conversations are based off the conversation that Chris is going to have later today, as well as investors that we have been waiting to engage once we have this polished and professional deck. So that should be coming very soon. And also with respect to the regulation crowdfund in July. Let's jump really quickly into the LRT update. LRT being Let's Rethink This. Paco's not singing in a live band. I think he's singing in a mosh pit, I believe. He said it was
a singer. I mean, going back a few years, he used to be a lead singer.
Paco?
Paco. I got the pictures to prove it.
Now only in the shower, he says. Wonderful. Jeez. I heard it was a category 5 mosh pit, I was told. Anyways, so the update from Let's Rethink This. Chris Tucker and I have reviewed Let's Rethink This article. We are going to be their featured project for their community. Their community, if you can envision this, is, I like the way Tucker, sorry, there's 2 Chris's on the call. Chris Tucker, you described it to me yesterday and has been echoed by the Let's Rethink This team. If you can imagine NPR, a fairly liberal news organization that is interested in things they don't know about. Take the top 10% of them who are social and philanthropy focused. That's kind of their network. They're also working to put us on a number of terrestrial radio stations, as well as some leading radio stations within the LA market, which is one of the largest markets in the US if you're not from the US. And we're going to be their featured project for the month of July upon confirmation. So Chris and I have been reworking their article. They have a very extensive network. They have a newsletter where we will be featured as well. We're waiting to get kind of their feedback and rewrite on that article. We're also going to be providing a counterpart article, which is written by our team, which is in the works right now. Kind of a revisit for what Christine had done. If you are part of the company since, let's say, January, February, you may remember Christine L., not our artist, the different Christine L., who had wrote the initial kind of who we are, what we are, and why we are article that you can find over on our blog. We're going to be revisiting that based off some new positioning and providing that to LRT such that we can take this and shop that around within various publications and press. So more to come on that. Exciting things for July. and we're still on track for public sale, I believe October, but I'll leave that conversation for Devin when we revisit the DAO Hall in 2 weeks.
I'll just add too that Leyline, our sister organization that Al was referring to earlier, and like where a lot of us originated, we had quite a bit of exposure, including Forbes and a few other high-end sources that once we get our narrative together, we can reach out to and reping and maybe instantly have some credibility, since a lot of it is the same people involved. So looking forward to that too.
100%. And, you know, I know that it's been, I mean, it's tough during a bear market, and I know that we've discussed kind of how the nature of our business can sustain that. The last crypto winter that we went through, you saw the kind of the advent of DeFi and all these new technologies as well. We stand to be one of those robust projects that will survive and come out of the bear market or the winter or crash that we're currently experiencing. And so it's been a lot of hurry up and wait. That can be very frustrating. I understand that. I as well have felt that. But we are, you know, kind of lining up the ducks, so to speak. So while it may seem like a lot of bottlenecking, we kind of get, we only get a couple of shots at this. And so we're making sure that we have the right opportunities, not to paraphrase what you're saying, Chris, but like when to engage these partners that are on board with us, because we don't want to be the boy who cried wolf, so to speak. That's a colloquialism. We don't want to engage them and say, can you do it for us now? Can you do it for us now? Can you do it for us now? And then they say, we've heard too much from you and there hasn't been enough results, right? So we're waiting for those results to get in the right place. But I'm, again, speaking over you, so.
Well, I mean, the joy in a lot of our partners and the way that we approach partnerships is I look at it as a mutual opportunity to engage and grow. So it's not like we give it our best shot and we fail. They're helping us create our best shot, many of them. And those are really the best partners to have, right? People that will stick with you through the winter and like help you come out more resilient. So I think like the meeting tonight, for example, is one of those partners, and has been for the past year now. So, wow. And I mean, I think as an example, and just highlight the integrity of our other partners, ECTA last year had their own personalized winter, right? They got hacked. They had 3 months of inactivity where I'm sure they were bleeding money, and they did all the right things. They were transparent. They engaged their community. They built strong partnerships, and they came out stronger. And now they've got huge plans, and they're actually delivering. So it's a good template for us.
I'm excited. Send my regards to Broadway, but to the individuals that you may or may not be speaking to this afternoon, I say hi. I follow them religiously, and some of them are launching node networks and doing big things also during a crypto winter.
This afternoon is my 2 a.m., so I will try to remember.
Some
coffee.
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was just saying, lots of coffee for Chris.
I've only got instant. I can't touch downstairs.
I have heard, Parisa, that you make a mean coffee, and Chris has got a dog barking outside, so he doesn't need coffee.
Parisa doesn't make a mean coffee. He goes for quantity over quality. He just has a big carafe that he suckles off of all day.
I'm one step away from just doing a line of coffee grounds and just skipping the brewing process altogether.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. All right. Some other big updates regarding events. There is going to be a return to the good games this week. Come over to the Voice channel to find out which one we'll do. Paco is back and hitting the good games again, so we may be doing marbles on stream because Rar is dominating all the other games. So that will be right after the ley line. Excuse me. That will be right after the Leyline happy hour. Find us over on the Leyline Discord at 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 1 p.m. Eastern. That is 10 a.m. Pacific time for a happy hour over on the Leyline Discord, followed by an hour from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 to 12. No, did that wrong. All the events you can find posted in the Discord channel in the left navigation on Leyline and Proof of Good. At the top of the left navigation, I got mirrored. Top of the left navigation, and we will be returning to the good games this week. In addition, Will Gaines is no longer is back on the spaces, so you can find Will Gaines every day at, let's say, 7:20 Eastern p.m. Also 4:20 Pacific on Twitter Spaces, where he'll be hosting Jamie and a number of outside groups, including some of Consensus organizations, as well as other Web3 organizations. So pop over, follow Will Gaines if you're not already over on Twitter, and every day of the week at 4:20 Pacific p.m. You can find us over there and talking about Proof of Good, bringing new insight into the space, bringing new partners into the space, bringing new ideas and underrepresented voices onto the space and in the space. And again, Web3 is being defined by organizations like us during these conversations. I would encourage everybody to participate, or at the very least, go and listen to these conversations, because the industry is not defined, and we are defining it in these rooms to the public, similar to what we're doing right now. Thank you, Rarar.
And if you love Will like the rest of us do, please don't give him COVID again.
Yeah,
poor guy's been through enough.
he's got to be, studied by the CIA. This poor guy goes to the conferences, and he's had a tough run. I think he's got the full, or maybe Chris, this was your joke, but he's got the full Greek alphabet under his belt right now.
Yeah, well, it's because he's so popular at the conferences. The first 3 times I saw him, he was literally the center of a group hug of strangers. Like, people love Will. So.
Yeah. And he is busting his hump for this DAO. And so big shout out to Will. He couldn't be here this morning, this afternoon. But he really is busting his hump for us, and couldn't be more appreciative of all the work that he does. And he's a consummate professional. It's not easy to do what he does every day, and he does it, and he shows the heck up. Okay. With that being said, I think we have no POAP drops today, while Hans and Pineapple and Paco negotiate on the very close relationship that we have with the POAP team. So if anybody has any questions from the audience, we can open it up for questions. Otherwise, we can close it and put 3.5 minutes back in everyone's day.
Well, Paco just said that he caught COVID, so I hope it's a mild case.
Oh,
and also, not to be unsupportive, but you just left one of the biggest concerts in the world, so
it was that Category 5 Hurricane Mosh Pit.
Yeah,
I guess that was the price of admission.
When you punch a guy in a mosh pit, expect some COVID spittle. I guess
I got my very first case of COVID from a mosh pit also. He got the Hellfest variant. Perfect. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that Greek letter, but okay. It sounds like it works. Okay. Well, it sounds like we're.
But when I got COVID, it was from the Board H Warehouse Party concert. So I guess the rule of thumb is go to a concert, get COVID.
It sounds like a bunch of degens in here. Come on. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions from the audience. I'll leave it open for another 30 seconds if anybody has questions for Chris, or me. And otherwise, I'll put 2 minutes back in everyone's day. Thank you again.
I just got to say, when I was at that concert and in that crowd, I was staying with Devin, and he was following me around the house with Lysol. Everything I touched, he was 3 feet behind me spraying. Funniest thing I've ever seen. And then I got COVID, so it proved him right.
Stay safe out there, y'all. Okay, thanks everybody for showing up. Best community in Web3. Let's go. Let's do the work.
Thanks again, Jeff.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jeff.